Captain Sensation. Other yellow hat guy here, back with another video. And I'm fresh off of Avengers Endgame. You've seen me wear this shirt for a couple videos now, or maybe you haven't, or you will. I'm not quite sure what order I'm going to upload these, but when I say these, I'm going to make two videos. So, no spoilers in this video, but the next video that you see talking about Avengers Endgame will have spoilers. So let's get right into it. And I'll try to be as brief as possible because, again, I'm overwhelmed with emotion. Just saw the movie. I'm a fan. I know you see a bunch of video games here, but there's some comic-related stuff somewhere around here. Was in the comic books a lot more when I was in college and prior, but somewhere along the line, I kind of, I guess, grew away from them. Just different stories, different writers, different artists. It just didn't. It just didn't add up for me like it did when I was younger. So I still dabble from time to time, but I digress. Getting back into this movie, the past 10 years, 22 movies. This is what you've been wanting. Ever since I saw Thanos appear at the end of the first Avengers in the end credit scene, I was like, oh, they're going to do this. And knowing what Thanos means for Marvel Comics and for, the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, it meant that they were going to gather all the heroes together to stop Thanos. Now, the books differ from the movies where, Marvel doesn't have its full cast of characters at their disposal. What I mean by that is they didn't have the rights movie-wise for Fantastic Four, X-Men, etc., etc. So the way the story truly was, they could not replicate for these movies. Not that they would want to, but to have those actual characters that show the severity of how tough and formidable Thanos is, they couldn't really show. They still did a good job with the Infinity War movie, as they also did in Endgame, magnifying the significance and stopping Thanos at, every cost, the mantra, whatever it takes. I mean, it still resonates with me. I can still hear that ringing in my head, whatever it takes. Now, what did I enjoy about this movie? Let's get into that. I enjoyed the action. I mean, some of the best action I've seen in the Marvel Universe since the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I should say, since Captain America: Civil War, the airport scene. There's action like that at some points. Can't go and describe that here, but I will in the next video later. I enjoyed seeing all the characters that they showed come together. I mean, this was really like, a lot of throwback to the very first Avengers. Team, family, coming together. That's the vibe that they had here. It's like, when we got nothing left in the tank, we've got to figure out something. And we're going to give everything for everyone. Avenge the fallen. That's what you see on the posters. That's what's happening here. I mean, not to be cliche, I'm trying to dance around saying too much, but that's what I enjoyed there. There was a lot of comedy, a lot of funny lines, certain characters, you get to see where they left off after the decimation or the snapping, as some of you on the internet call it. You got to see where they've, picked up, how it's affected them personally, and a lot of that was Disney pulling at your heartstrings. It felt more Disney with the sentimental part than it did Marvel. And there's even some jokes that, some of the characters make about how the other characters feel about what's happening and how they should actually be handling it as superheroes. Just a lot of comedy there, a lot of one-liners that, break the ice and, keep it from feeling like a, depressing ordeal. I mean, the heroes, they shine. Once again, Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., Scott Lang stepped up in this. Scott Lang being Ant-Man, who is man, I'm forgetting his name. Uh, Paul Rudd. There we go. Sorry, Paul Rudd. Those three guys stepped up, and uh, they really carried the movie for me. I mean, yes, the big three are Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor, but this movie, it felt like for me, it was Ant-Man, Iron Man, and Captain America. This felt like their story. I mean, everybody had, sacrifice. They had stuff to lose, but those three kind of pushed the whole story together. What I didn't like, I didn't like some things at the end, how they wrapped up some stuff, but again, I won't get into that. But overall, this is a must-see movie. I had to go dark on social media to avoid, certain spoilers, certain people. I'm sorry if I unfollowed you. Remind me in a message to follow you back if for whatever reason we're not talking. But yeah, this was everything that I expected it to be. They did not disappoint as far as what I had hoped for, what you hope for as fans. Not many stones were left unturned that I could think of, and none of them that really pertain to the story, in my opinion. The overall story, I should say. So without saying too much else, this was a good movie. Non-spoilers, you don't have to stay after if you don't want to. It's great to honor or to watch all the names, that, for everybody's hard work, but there is no after credit scene. So if you're one of those people who are like, hey, where's the after credit scene? It's not there. Some of us thought that, like some of the other movies, after the advanced screening, maybe for the general screening on Thursday for everybody else, they would shoe in, a after credit scene. It's not there. No mid credit rolls or anything like that are in this movie. But for me, having knowledge of what they've done in the comics, I can't really even say, but I felt like I kind of know what's happening going forward, so I didn't really need that. This right here was supposed to be, hey, this was the conclusion of everything before. What comes next is its own set of rules and, villains or what have you, just new whatever. So, yeah, we'll end this. I'm going to wrap it up and say that I give this a 9.6 out of 10. It was almost perfect. There was a couple of gripes, and I'll get into those in the next video. Again, sorry for dancing around it. Hope you stay tuned. Let me know what you thought of the movie if you're going to see it. This is probably my first of many viewings. I'm going to see this movie multiple times. Like when the first Avengers came out, I had different sets of friends, some who were really into just the movies, some who were also into the comics, some who were just friends and looked at me as the comic nerd. Yeah. So, rest in peace, Jared Moore. I miss you, man. I know if you were here, you'd be watching this movie. We'd have some kind of conversation about this. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.